Surviving childhood punishments. Growing up, how did you get punished? What did you get hit by?
I mean,
what happened?
pretty much anything and everything that's near. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I ain't get whipped like that because, nigga, I wasn't no badass kid. You know what I'm saying? I did get whipped a couple times, hell yeah.
Yeah, me too.
But I ain't get, like, whooped all the time.
Yeah, belt for sure for me.
Yeah.
Chancleta
Hell yeah.
for sure.
Hell yeah.
And there was one time my mom hit me with a broomstick.
They ain't ever try to take, like, the twigs off the tree branches and shit.
Oh yeah, and DR, yeah. Grounded, I got grounded one time.
I got grounded before, too.
Yeah.
I said, nigga, what the is this shit?
Shout out to TommyNFG. There will be a link to the original video down below.
Yes.
Also, we live stream on Kick
Yes, sir.
almost every day.
Yes,
if
sir.
I'm not live, then he's live. If he's not live, then I'm live. Or we're both live
Yeah.
at the same time.
You know what I'm saying?
Playing games at the same time.
It's crazy. Shit. Damn.
Click the link in the description and you can follow us there and watch us live. If you guys didn't know, we have a gaming channel, DNA.
Yeah.
Go check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you suddenly gain consciousness at age 5.
Yo, you ever be wondering, like,
Huh?
when's the age that you gain consciousness? Because, like, you just be born and you just wake up, nigga.
Yeah.
Like, you wake up at a certain age and you just like,
This is life.
like, what the f?
Yeah, that concept is actually pretty dope. Like, you think
Yeah.
about, like we've been awake, right? But all of a sudden now it's like we kind of get it. Like we're interacting with our thoughts. Yap session at the beginning of a TommyNFG
Hey, bro, I'm
video.
just saying though.
Being born into the world is a blessing and curse. You're born not knowing a single
Look,
It's a
Yeah,
bonus.
yeah,
Your
yeah.
parents choose an array of choices to teach you some life lessons. Like, life is really messed up when you think about it. First off, you're born into the world without your consent. Have to adjust to the world around you. And get punished for things you didn't even know were bad. Like, how was I supposed to know I can't stare at the disabled man more than that? So I'm gonna go through some childhood punishments, and I'll also be
Mommy, why does he have
why he look like that, ma?
Yo.
on certain factors. The belt. It's crazy how the belt is
Yeah.
like the most universal child punishment around the world. Your parents could be from America, South America, Africa, Asia. They all unite against one evil by beating the out their kids with belts. For the belt, I feel like there's a certain age limit where a parent has to stop doing it.
Yeah,
Because you
yeah,
can
yeah.
only do it for so long until that kid has had enough and catches it to reverse it on you.
Oh yeah,
Like, I probably stopped getting that.
and to the point where you know the combos, bro.
Yeah.
Start dodging that.
Yeah, start weaving. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Belt after 7 years old. And with the belt, I'm kind of kerfuffled on it because I feel like it's
Kerfuffled.
needed and it's not needed at the same time. It all just depends on the scenario.
Yeah.
Like if my kid decides to take a baseball bat and break my $1,000 flat screen TV, you're damn right. I'm whooping that kid like it's before Abraham Lincoln signed the
Yup,
Emancipation
just like that.
Proclamation. And I feel like belt whoopings are needed now more than ever. Have
Yup.
y'all
The
seen how much
kids,
kids
yeah.
have been wilding online recently?
Yup.
I be seeing little kids posting videos of them vaping, assaulting
What the
strangers
fuck?
for some tic-tac views. And this all
Tic-tac.
stopped because parents want to what? Not emotionally scar their child with physical punishment. You'll get over it. But then you got parents growing up who would whip their kids for the littlest of things.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
how some parents just try taking their frustration out on something.
Yeah, that's
You might as well
OD.
get a punch
Yeah.
because your kid's not supposed to be it. And then they'd be
Yeah.
surprised when they end up in a nursing home acting like nothing ever happened. The belt either machoed you up and prepared you for the real world, or left you with psychological scarring buried deep in your heart that attaches to every friendship and relationship you'll ever stumble in the rest of your life.
Like you
causing
said, it's all
lifelong experience.
situational.
Yeah.
So
Probably the second one for most people. Effectiveness, 8 out of 10. Psychological scarring, 100 out of 10.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
Really?
Now, a lot of people consider getting yelled at as a kid is at least better than getting whooped. But I don't know how controversial this is. I feel like it's worse most times. As a kid, I
again, it's
barely
situational too because for Caribbeans, I'm Dominican. Yelling literally happens for no reason.
I feel like they don't even realize they're yelling.
Yeah.
Cause I'm like, my mom be talking to me like, Mom, why are you yelling at me?
Exactly.
She was like, oh, I'm yelling? I'm like, yes.
Yeah. So I do think it's situational because I see it even with my sister and her kids.
Yeah.
Like she does yell at them when they do bad things.
Yeah.
Or when she tells them to do something and they don't do it, then she yells.
Yeah.
But obviously, if you're constantly yelling at them and making them feel like they're a piece of shit, like they're worthless,
Yeah.
then that's where the harm comes in.
Yeah.
So yeah, same thing with the belt and yelling. It's all situational. If if you're literally doing it to cause trauma or to use your kid as a punching bag
Then
or a yelling
that's
bag,
your fault.
then
That's your fault.
Yeah, you're wildin'.
Remember the times I was whooped because it was so long ago? More than the times I was yelled at for doing something wrong. And the worst part is, you know you can't talk back, so you just gotta pace back and forth in your room, thinking of all the you say, but you can't say it because you know if you talk back, then you're getting the belt. And even when you did slightly talk back or try to at least tell them your point, they're gonna go, oh, you talking back now? Like, yes, you're yelling at me. Was I supposed to just let it happen and not say my point? One thing I'm glad my parents never did, though, was yell at me in public. When I see a parent doing that, it'd be so embarrassing to me.
Yeah.
You feel no shame? And that's what they do in public. If I see a parent doing that, I can tell that child is definitely getting abused. CPS would be called to that home straight. The worst feeling, though, was getting yelled at for something you never did. That's when I really learned what a false accusation is. Then when they realized their mistake, you never got an apology and had to take it on the chin. Ooh, that would have me heated. Effectiveness, 9 out of 10. Psychological scarring, 10 out of 10.
Okay.
Another universal tool that can replace the belt is the hand. And even better, it's free. Honestly, I prefer the hand over the belt because at least the stinging will go away faster. But I never really got hit with the hand as a kid. I feel like the hand is a gateway to child abuse because it takes one day.
I was just about to say that because think about it. See, he just said he'd rather take the hand over the belt.
Yeah.
But when the hand is like, you know, obviously it's part of your body. Like you are literally putting your hands on me.
Yeah,
like if I were to get handed, like thinking about my dad hitting me, I'd be like, yo, like bro, he literally just fucking violated. Whereas the belt, I see it more as a punishment. Like, okay, I did something wrong. Like,
yeah, I get you.
I feel like the hand is a gateway to child abuse.
Yeah,
it takes one day where you cuff the hand and turn it into a fist and end up Mike Tysoning your child and ending up in prison. Effectiveness, 7 out of 10. Psychological scarring, 9 out of 10.
Oh, really?
Alright, we're lowering the intensity a little bit with something simple. Being grounded was a minus or plus depending on what type of kid you were. Like, kids nowadays probably don't give a if their parents tell them because they can hop on their iPad and play Fortnite and Roblox while talking to their friends. But before the iPad generation, being grounded as a kid was basically being put in prison. You would get home from school and see kids in your neighborhood frolicking and having fun while you gotta just stare from your window, isolated alone. Your homies are all out on the basketball court or soccer field and you're just imagining how much fun you could be having. If you had siblings, they were probably outside too as well, so you were just stuck isolated alone. And imagine that feeling for weeks or months. Not fun. Effectiveness, 9 out of 10. Psychological scarring, 10 out of 10. Timeouts. Timeouts gotta be the weakest punishment of all time. Like, out of all things you're gonna do to me, all I gotta do is sit in that corner for 30 minutes? I'll gladly take it over any of the punishments before this. The only time timeouts were embarrassing is when you got them in school. Not only are you getting embarrassed in front of your homies, but also the hosts.
Oh no, you didn't go to my elementary school, but we had in for lunch, which meant you weren't allowed to have lunch in the lunchroom. You had to have lunch in a classroom with a different teacher. And if you had in for lunch, those kids in that class would literally laugh at you.
Yeah, it was a detention center. I've been in that shit one time.
I've been in that too, bro.
It was like you can't have lunch in the cafeteria.
Yeah.
You take your ass to the basement, nigga.
What?
It's like a basement. They took your ass to the basement.
Oh no.
And then you have lunch with all the bad kids in there.
Yo.
It was I forgot what it was called, some detention shit.
Oh yeah, for us it was in for lunch. Yeah.
My crush was there, and I guarantee they're gonna remember that moment up until graduation. So bye-bye to any chance you had. And now that I'm older and bolder and graduated, I can finally say it. F you, Miss Harris. With your dirty ass lips, I make double what you make now. I'll put your ass in timeout. Okay, sorry. But my limit for timeouts would be like an hour. If you got timeouts for like 6 hours or something, then they might as well have thrown you into solitary confinement. Effectiveness, 3 out of 10. Psychological scarring, 3.5 out of 10.
Yeah,
Soap in the mouth. I didn't even know this was legit a punishment parents did until one of my white friends told me that he never got whooped but got that. And once again, this is a walk in the park. I wish the worst punishment I got was some antibacterial dial soap on my mouth for 30 seconds. Plus, it'll make your breath smell better. If anything, you're helping.
Yo, he's trolling, bro.
1 out of 10. Psychological scarring, 3 out of 10.
I've never
Taking
seen
away
that.
stuff. Honestly, out of everything on this list, I put this as number 1. We grew up in such a technology-driven world even back then. When I was younger, if me and my brother ever f***ed up our grades, the first thing swiped from us was our console. And it's not like we could say shit, we didn't pay for it. The whole gang would be on playing some type of game, meanwhile we couldn't. Even if we had our computers or phones, nothing was gonna be missing out on that party chatting game session. Luckily, I never even got my phone swiped because even then, my parents knew taking a phone from a child in the 21st century is very dangerous and is also like throwing them in solitary confinement and only seeing the general population for an hour. Nowadays, if you take a phone from a kid, though, you're basically taking their whole life away. Just look at the way those ankle-biting Gen Alpha kids act like when the iPad is swiped from them. They gain the strength of 5 prime Mike Tysons to get it back. Effectiveness 6 out of 10. Psychological scarring 4 out of 10. The chancla / slipper. Another alternative to the belt, and some would even say more comparable to it. Getting hit with any slipper was way more dangerous because it could pop out at any time. The device is portable and can be used in any time of ankle. Like the device be running away and they throw that with 100% accuracy. It's like they got trained by military snipers on how to be the most accurate. And if you're Hispanic, there's about a 99.9% chance this was probably used more than the belt. Effectiveness 7.5 out of 10. Psychological scarring 8 out of 10. Spanking. Spanking is another one of those universal punishments that the whole world does. If you weren't getting the belt, you were getting spanked.
You
if
getting
you weren't getting
Timeouts.
spanked, you were getting the belt. If your parents really f***ed up, you got both. Maybe even everything combined before you. I feel like I didn't know a lot of kids that were spanked as their punishment, even though it's one of the most common punishments. I also feel you could recover from a spanking faster than getting hit with the belt. And it's always been weird to me how schools in America used to let teachers spank kids. As a matter of fact, it's not even illegal in all states. It's still allowed in 19 states.
Nah, don't fight back, bro. Yo, these kids now will fight back and really square up.
I would never fight back taking a beating. Like, there was one time I was like, I don't remember how old I was, but I came home late.
Yeah.
And yo, my mom, oh my God, nigga, she had the belt. She started whooping my ass, bro. I didn't even run. I just sat there. I was like, she was like, boom, 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 boom. I was taking it, nigga. And then my sister's on the side. She's like,
she's laughing at you?
No, she's like, she felt bad for me because I was just seeing I'm just taking this shit.
Oh, but like chilling, you just chilling on that?
Well, I wasn't sitting, I was standing up. I was like this. I was just taking that motherfucker. And then she was like, okay, mom, I think that's it. Yeah. Because she was whooping the fuck. She knew I didn't have no reaction, so she was like, oh yeah? Woo, 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 woo. I was like,
I got more combos. Nah, that's crazy. It's funny you say that because low-key, some of it I guess has to do with like fear, but I think most of it also comes from respect.
Yeah, I would never like put my hand on my mom.
Yeah,
Never.
yeah. So like this generation, or like from what I've seen now, I think there is like a lack of that. Obviously, you know, being respectful and like having that respect for your parents. Like, okay, that's my parent, that's my higher up.
Yeah.
I did something bad, I'm getting hit now. Like, it's my punishment.
It's your
like,
consequence. You know what comes with it. Yeah.
They come back telling me they got paddled. That teacher's getting paddled by me next. And trust me, I won't make it enjoyable. I'm thinking of all the times a teacher f***ed me over in class and imagining if they had the power to paddle me for that.
Oh yeah, they go crazy.
And imagine if you got beef with one of the teachers and they paddle your child as revenge. What could you even do to stop them? And when Gen Z becomes teachers, you think I'm letting you put hands on my children? You getting boomed on the spot. Effectiveness 7 out of 10. Psychological scarring 6 out of 10. Cutting off hair. I remember seeing videos of kids getting their hair cut off as punishment, and I always thought,
bro, I used to see this. Yeah, it would be like a parent would record
the child getting their hair fucked up.
Yeah, he's like, "What did you do?" And then the kid is crying.
Yeah, I've never received this shit. But like,
I've seen that a lot on social media, but never like heard of anybody
doing that shit.
No way this actually happens, right? Until someone in my school when I was younger got all his dreads cut off for getting suspended. And that worked. He was a pure peril danger thug before that. And now he's about to graduate college, so you had to have been a bad kid for this to be your punishment. Yeah. And this punishment is one of those things where you're never living it down. Because you know for a fact, if you come in that school going from a full head of hair to the nugget cut the next day, everyone knew exactly what happened to your ass and was gonna clown with you. And this is the type of where if you do it to your kid, don't expect them to speak to you after they turn 18. The school rules are never leaving their head. That's permanent PTSD. Effectiveness 8.5 out of 10. Psychological scarring 9.5 out of 10. Door taken off room. If you're a parent at the point where you have to do this to your child, I think you fail. In what purpose is taking the door off the room gonna teach them a lesson? I would never trust my parents for anything. You're straight up stripping my rights. And how the f would I even change, in the bathroom? Or is the door taken off that too? I don't know any kids that this happened to personally, but if you're watching this and it did, then I hope you're holding up. Effectiveness 6 out of 10. Psychological.
How do you feel about locks in the house? like
What do you mean lock?
like locking the door to your room, because
Like,
that
if
wasn't.
I was a parent?
Yeah, because that wasn't, not that it wasn't allowed. It was kind of like weird if any of us locked our room doors.
Yeah, because it's like, what you doing in there?
Yeah, like me and my brothers never really had anything to, like, why are we locking our doors?
Yeah, out of nowhere, if
Yeah.
you're locking your door, you're probably beating your meat, nigga.
Exactly.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, because I remember it being said, like, oh no, like, don't lock your doors in the house.
Nah, nobody said that in my house.
But it wasn't like enforced.
Yeah.
Because it kind of made sense to us. We were like, okay, yeah, like, why would we lock our doors?
Yeah, you be leaving the room
Yeah.
here and there. Fuck, I'm locking the door for.
Because that's always like 50-50 with people. They're like, yeah, I want to lock my door. It's
I-
for privacy.
I wouldn't lock my door because what if something were to happen to you and now the parent can't get to you in time? What if you was getting a fucking seizure or something and nobody could get into the fucking, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you got kicked out the house, then it had to have been for some absolute
You're wildin'.
heinous you did. Like,
Yeah.
this one is way too dangerous to risk. I don't even know how you could do this as a parent. If it's like for 30 minutes or an hour, I could hear it out. But if you're kicking your child out for days, then are you not worried they're gonna
That's abuse.
Exactly.
or something?
That's
You're gonna
abuse.
get charged with child neglect. And how old are we talking? Because I couldn't see you doing this to a kid below the age of 13. The world is way too dangerous
18.
to be doing this nowadays. There's no world where I'm ever doing this to my kid. Effectiveness 6 out of 10. Psychological scarring 8 out of 10. And last, studying. Come to think of it, this is more of a benefit than punishment. I
Pretty
kind of
much.
wish I got this a lot. Because when I finally started to realize that adults weren't these almighty beings that can manage themselves responsibly, and everybody
Yeah.
has no clue what they're doing, this
Yep.
knowledge could have helped me worlds ahead of people. The average person's reading comprehension due to massive pounding of attention span, soul-sucking content is now equivalent to an acorn. And don't
Yep.
get me started on math to tic-tacs. I'm
Math
very
to
much hooked on
tic-tacs?
this too. I'm one of those people that needs a calculator to add single digits.
Yeah,
I might
yeah,
just
yeah.
make sure.
Effectiveness 7 out of 10. Psychological scarring 2 out of 10. So yeah, I'm gonna end it right there. Let me know the worst punishment that happened to y'all. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, I love you guys consensually. And until
TikTok.
next time, I'm out.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Tic tac. Tic tac is crazy.
Math for Tic Tacs. But I would do that though when I'm taking a test. I would make the dumbest, simplest calculations, like 7 plus 7,
Yeah.
just to make sure, like, okay,
Oh,
that
yeah.
is 14, right?
Because you ain't trying to fail, nigga.
Yeah. Or it'd be like things that I'm just not, like, I'm just unsure about, but I know it's right.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to multiplication, like, and it'd be random numbers, like
Yeah.
13 times 3. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? Okay, let me make sure this is actually right.
It's funny too, cause back then my sister used to be on my ass. Like, oh, you gotta memorize your times table because you're gonna be using that shit. Da da da. Nigga, as soon as she said that, nigga start bringing out the calculators. Nigga, nobody had to memorize.
Nobody
that
had
shit.
to-
Nigga start using the calculator. I'm like, bro, so what the fuck was the point?
Exactly.
What the fuck?
And she just comes from a different era, I guess.
Yeah, obviously, but
Yeah.
it's just like, it's just funny to me. You know what I'm
And
saying?
now they got iPads and laptops in class, bro.
You know what I'm
Like,
saying?
damn, and before,
It's technology now.
we couldn't even use our phones in lunch. Now y'all can use a whole iPad in class.
Anyway, if y'all like video, like you like video, fuck off. You know what I'm saying? Goddamn. We stream on Kick, nigga.
Oh yeah, trying to
Vashly on Kick. Luna Diary on Kick.
Yeah.
Click the link, dumb boy.
DNA gaming, going
You know what
crazy,
I'm saying?
stupid, whoop it off the Cupid. What? I don't know. I'll see you tomorrow. Holla at your boy. Yeah.